Hi there guys, I hope you are all having a good day in this bracing British weather. Now Anthony Joshua has obviously now touched down in Saudi Arabia and he will continue his camp there as he prepares for Andy Ruiz Jr. on December 7th. Now this is his final week of camp. He will finally finish and taper down ready for the fight, rebuilding and regaining his energy so he can be prepared for that night. Now obviously Anthony Joshua still has 1 week left, so he has to have a gym and somewhere where he can train and keep ticking over until that date. And there has been some footage revealed of Anthony Joshua's training camp and his facilities in Saudi Arabia that he will have to prepare for Andy Ruiz Jr. Now obviously it's nothing flashy, obviously it's a boxing gym, so it just has the fundamentals, things he can use to keep taking over until that date. Because let's remember, he still has 1 week left of training camp. Now obviously Anthony Joshua is looking lighter, he's looking a lot slimmer, and a lot has been made of that. A lot has also been made of Andy Ruiz Jr.'s physique, his change. Will he be heavier? Will he be lighter? Will he be more muscle and less fat? Now obviously Andy Ruiz Jr. has explained he's lost 3 pounds, that is all. I mean obviously he explained before it would be around 10 pounds, maybe a bit of mind games, I don't know. We know that Andy Ruiz Jr. is renowned for being a wolf in sheep's clothing, but ultimately it's 3 pounds. So I would imagine, judging by his physique now, it's probably he's put on a bit of muscle and lost a bit of fat. So ultimately Andy Ruiz Jr. will be a similar weight to last time, but he will look a little bit better maybe, and a lot of that weight will be muscle, which maybe it might not work in his favour, because I remember last time the reason why Anthony Joshua couldn't recover so well, and after Andy Ruiz Jr. started taking it to the body, it was the lactic acid that kicked in with Anthony Joshua. And if you have a big guy with a lot of muscle, that usually is a problem, especially when you try and get your second wind. It is very difficult for a fighter to get that second wind when that lactic acid has kicked in, and that is why Anthony Joshua struggled last time. And in turn, that is why Andy Ruiz Jr. didn't. He might be flubby, he might be fat, but he didn't gas, he didn't get tired. And that is because he is not carrying that much muscle, so obviously the physical exertion didn't kick in that lactic acid effect, whereas it did with Anthony Joshua. So maybe Ruiz could have a problem with that, considering his weight will be similar, and obviously he's a small guy, he's not really supposed to be 19 stone. I mean, 19 stone at 6 foot or 6'1", and especially his build as well, he's considered overweight, maybe even obese. So obviously, having that kind of weight and carrying that on a smaller frame, especially if it's more muscle, could weigh him down more than it being fat. So maybe that's something to look at on Andy Ruiz Jr. But obviously, Andy Ruiz Jr. is a great fighter. He looks fast on the pads, maybe not as fast as last time, but obviously he does look good on the pads, but the pads is not the fight itself. A fighter can look good on the pads, a fighter can look good in training camp, but that does not mean it's going to translate into the fight. Now on the flip side, there has been a lot made of Anthony Joshua's obvious weight cut, or at least him slimming down slightly, and people are worried about his punch resistance. Now in my opinion, I don't think this will affect it that much at all. I think, to be honest, Anthony Joshua will be taking punches better because he will be riding them more, he will be moving his head, and he won't be getting caught as much as he did last time. So if you don't have to take the same amount of punishment, then obviously you don't need that same punch resistance. And in this fight, it's not necessarily about having punch resistance, it's more about avoiding those shots, so moving his head. Andy Ruiz Jr. is too fast and too diverse with his punches for Anthony Joshua to catch them on his gloves. He can't catch all of the shots on his gloves, it's just not going to work, because Andy Ruiz Jr. will pick apart his guard just as he done last time, find a way around his guard, hooks around the side, touch him to the body so that Anthony Joshua's gloves drop, and then he can take it to the head. So obviously Anthony Joshua is going to be needing to be moving his head and using his lateral movement a lot more, using his feet to stay out of range, because Andy Ruiz Jr. will go head body, head body, head body to try and open Anthony Joshua up, because Anthony Joshua, when he has his gloves high trying to catch shots, leaves his body open, and when he brings his gloves down to try and guard his body, he leaves his head open. So that is why he needs to be riding those shots and moving his head a lot more. That is why losing the weight and being able to do that is more important than his punch resistance. And again, Anthony Joshua is not going to be ridiculously lighter than last time. I reckon around 17 stone, maybe 7 pounds lighter than last time, which is not that much, right? So Anthony Joshua will not be ridiculously light going in. He will just be a bit lighter, more like he was when he started his professional career. So there won't be that much difference in his punch resistance going into this fight. So there we have it, guys. Anthony Joshua has arrived in Saudi Arabia. He's looking lighter, trim, ready to fight Andy Ruiz Jr. He has 1 week left of camp, and then he will finish camp and taper down, ready for the fight, regaining and regathering himself so that he is able to be in the best place possible for his fight with Andy Ruiz Jr. Let's not count Andy Ruiz Jr. out. He has trained very hard for this, and he is looking better than last time. But I mean, obviously, as I said, that muscle gain and fat loss, maybe it will work in his favour, maybe it will not. I mean, obviously, if something ain't broke, don't fix it. But guys, what I want to know is your thoughts. What do you think about this fight? Who are you picking to win? Are you picking a knockout? And which round? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.